So, your most valuable survival tool is already in your trash. Let's set the scene. The early 19th century. Tin-plated iron cans were a revolutionary new technology, preserving food for armies and expeditions. But for the average explorer, that empty can wasn't waste. It was a lifeline. You see, while people have always known boiling water makes it safer, doing it in the wild is a problem. You need a container that won't burn, won't melt, and can sit directly in the flames. A wooden cup burns. A leather pouch fails. A clay pot takes skill and time to make. But a tin can? It's already in your pack, and they discovered it could do far more than just boil. Here's where the genius kicks in. They didn't just fill it with water and heat it. They transformed it into a distillation still. Imagine you're in a coastal swamp or a murky pond. The water is salty or foul with sediment. Drinking it could kill you. But you have that can, and you have a second container, even just a folded leaf or a cup. You fill the can about halfway with the bad water. You then take a long strip of cloth, a piece of rope, or even a braided strand of grass, anything that can wick moisture. You place one end in the boiling water inside the can and drape the other end out over the lip, leading down into your empty cup. Now, you place the can directly onto your coals. As the water boils, steam rises, but instead of letting it escape, the lid of the can, often just a flat stone or a second improvised metal piece, is placed slightly askew. That critical wick, dangling inside, gets soaked with the boiling water and steam. The physics are beautiful in their simplicity. The steam condenses on the cooler material of the wick. Pure distilled water travels along the fibers, guided by capillary action, drips out of the can, and falls into your waiting clean cup. The impurities, the salt, the mud, the bacteria, they're all left behind in the can. You're literally pulling pure H2O out of poison. This wasn't just theory. Diaries from the Oregon Trail mention variations of this method. Military field manuals from the era alluded to basic distillation with available vessels. It was widespread, essential knowledge. But the can's utility didn't stop at water. This was the original multi-tool. With a nail and a rock, you could punch holes in its base to create a makeshift grater for wild roots, or to make tinder. Turn it upside down, punch smaller holes, and you have a serviceable salt or spice shaker to preserve foraged food. Flatten it out, and you have a rudimentary sheet metal for crafting fishing lures, arrowheads, or even to patch a hole in a larger pot. In a dire first aid scenario, the sharp, clean edge of a freshly opened can could be used to make precise cuts, and the boiled can itself could sterilize bandages or small instruments. The most cinematic use, however, might be for signaling. A polished tin can is a mirror. A survival mirror isn't for vanity. It's a 10-mile-wide flashbang to search planes. 19th century sailors and pioneers knew that on a sunny day, the flash from a simple polished metal surface could be seen over vast distances. They'd use the inside lid or painstakingly polish the exterior with grit and a piece of leather. That flash is an international SOS, a trick that works identically today with a modern soda can if you know how to shape it. So why did this fade from common knowledge? The answer is the very thing you're watching this on technology. Reliable metal canteens and bottles became cheap. Portable water filters hit the market. We outsourced our survival ingenuity to gear. We started to see a tin can as trash, not a toolkit. Our connection to that raw, resourceful mindset, where every single item must earn its keep, weakened. But the principles behind the trick are immortal. It's about understanding phase changes, about using capillary action, about seeing multiple functions in a single object. That's a mindset no piece of gear can ever replace. Here's the actionable takeaway. You don't need an antique tin can. The next time you finish a can of beans, soup, or soda on a camping trip, don't just crush it for recycling. Look at it. See the potential. In a real pinch, that aluminum cylinder can still boil, still distill, still signal, still craft. Practice the wick distillation method in your backyard. Understand the principle. That knowledge is a direct link to the thousands of people who came before us, who walked into the unknown with less than we have in our day packs, and who thrived not on what they carried, but on what they knew. Their legacy of survival isn't in a museum. It's an understanding that the greatest tool is always the human mind, trained to see possibility where others see an empty can. If you want to keep that legacy alive, hit like and subscribe. We dive deep into the ingenious, forgotten skills that built our world, one practical, history-rich trick at a time. Share this video with someone who loves to be prepared, because the best survival secrets aren't secrets at all. They're just stories waiting to be remembered. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.